start recording. Okay. Hi guys, Tom Gravel here, fitness manager from Iron Leisure Trust. We're going to be doing a few podcast sort of discussions over the next couple of weeks. Well, just with your questions being sent in to us, and hopefully we can answer them to the best of our ability. So we're starting off today, keeping fit and healthy during lockdown. And I've got my partner in crime here, Jamie Davis. Pass over to you, Jamie.
Yeah, not too bad. Tom, yourself?
Yes.
Bit of a mad world now. We get to do stuff like this to engage with customers, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm sure customers will be eager to get back in, so it's good to have these kind of information points for them.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to jump into the questions. So I'll ask the first one for Jamie, and we can have a discussion on that one. How have you been keeping yourself busy during lockdown?
So I'm still been working, so I've not been furloughed like yourself. So tend to have a couple of meetings a week with you and many others with regards to maintaining the buildings, preparing for opening, etc. So I'm based in Appley, so I'm back and forth the site quite a lot. During the beginning of the pandemic, we were still having quite a lot of work done in the centre, refurbishment of the changing rooms, new lockers, benches, seating area, etc. So yeah, I've been busy with them first couple of weeks. Obviously, I've got two children, so a little bit of homeschooling as well, which has been horrendous. Never have a bad word said about any teacher ever again. To be fair, my wife's done most of it. She's tends to have a bit more patience than me. Obviously trying to keep myself fit, training, and it's been busy, to be honest. The first couple of weeks was mental, as you know, when we went into lockdown, and then we furloughed staff, so it did quiet down a bit. But then with preparations opening again, it seems to have gone a lot busier again. So, but keep going. So I know you've been busy yourself, haven't you? Because obviously you cover a lot more range than me with the swimming lessons and NERS teams. So
So it's pretty much the same deal. Two kids, one being 20 weeks old, so still going through the baby phase, sleepless nights, night feeds, dirty nappies, and a 3-year-old who still has homework. And same with you. Hats off to teachers. They've got patient of saints. From my area. What's that? Sorry.
I said, yeah, I'm struggling with 2. How they manage with 30 is mad.
Fair play. Hats off. So onto my area. The NERS team, who weren't furloughed because they're funded by the Welsh Government and Public Health Wales. So what we've done with the National Exercise Referral Team is go virtual. So we've been putting out content on our BG Exercise Referral page. There's over 80 videos at the moment and over 30,000 views. So that's gone really well. We have social chats as well every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So it's not ring fenced completely for just the exercise referral clients, but anyone can join in, because we know social well-being is just as important as the mental and physical side. Swimming lessons, returning to swimming as a whole has been one of the biggest headaches for reopening. Not so much when you get in the pool, but is how you navigate through the centre. Showers, changing rooms, congregation areas. It's still up in the air at the moment, but we're in discussions with Swim Wales and the other national governing bodies for swimming. And from a fitness side, obviously keeping in contact with the fitness instructors, which I know a lot of people will be missing at the moment, and their classes. I know a few of them have gone virtual as well. If you follow them on their Facebook page, I'm sure you can see if they are delivering any virtual classes. So it's been busy at home, work, and just everything else. Even shopping now is a bit of a task. Queuing an hour or two to just get through the front door. So how life has changed, but I'd rather be busy. So yeah, all good.
Yeah, it's gone quick. So, knowing how busy you are, how are you managing to keep yourself fit in these times?
Yeah, so fitness has always been a big part of my life, and I think not just the physical side, but the mental side as well. I just need that outlet. I've always trained to compete, which is a little bit different during lockdown because it's training to keep fit, so you can compete after lockdown, whenever that's going to be, and whenever we can get back on the track. So luckily for me, I have got my own gym at the bottom of the garden. So it's been a little bit easier for me to keep in shape. It's a gym that myself and my dad built probably about 10 years ago now. So yeah, it came in handy during lockdown. So another thing I've been doing is obviously Strava is massive at the moment, and people like yourself, I like a challenge and to be competitive. So seeing the times, I just thought, I've got to get out there and start posting some time. So yeah, you've been a bit of motivation for that, James, and being.
I don't, but you're more built for speed. I'm more endurance, I think.
That's true, but you are 8 years older than me, mate, as well. You got to think.
I thought I was speed until I seen you at times. Then I kind of felt so bad. And for anyone that does want to see Tom's gym, if you go to YouTube where the BG Life, there's a couple of exercise plans he does for you while he's in his gym. It's pretty impressive. I'm pretty jealous, to be honest with you. I've been nagging my wife for a gym since.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
Not too good, to be honest with you. I just about managed. I'm allowed some of the garage apparently when all this is over. So to start.
There we go. So yeah, same question to you. How have you been keeping fit and active?
Yeah, I'm a pretty active guy anyway. Obviously, give up rugby a couple of years ago. Kind of used running to fill the void. So I've been running quite a lot. I kind of come back off injury just before the pandemic hit, really, because I broke my foot, a stress fracture. So I've been building that back up, but running well. Yeah, setting myself challenges. I'm in a little bit of a running group where they kind of set challenges every week. So I don't always do it. Sometimes I do my own challenges, but sometimes I do the challenges they put in, which is quite nice. Sometimes when you're kind of doing it together. Like yourself, I'm quite competitive, so I ran a virtual race. I did the NHS half marathon. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So kind of helped push me and kind of motivate myself. Got a PB, so I was happy with that. Cheated slightly because it was slightly downhill, but I'll take it. I'm not going to argue with it.
Who's going to argue at the moment?
Yeah, I've been obviously sticking with the Les Mills. I've been using the on-demand that obviously all the link was shown for it to use is brilliant. Been hitting the body pump. But I've realised with years of weight training before the running and rugby, my flexibility is not the best. So I've been trying a bit of body balance to the expense of my wife and children as a laughter. Yes, come down me. I think that one of them, you meditate at the end. Thought I was in the living room on my own, and then come down to see a wife that thought it was quite funny, but. Yeah, it's not for everyone, but I give it a go.
Yeah, any videos for the customers, bud? I'm sure they'd want to see a bit of that too.
Perhaps we'll do that next. The fact that I can't get my arms on the floor when I'm led down backwards, it was quite worrying. And everything I read with regards to kind of strength work and endurance running, which is kind of the two I enjoy. A lot of it comes down to flexibility and how you can build off that. So So I trying new things. I've learned to skip during lockdown. So I challenged myself to do something new. So that was quite frustrating. And a few whip marks on the back of my legs to prove it. But I managed to get it. But I think Craig Williams, the fellow NERS team, he liked sending me videos of himself skipping, doing tricks, which didn't really motivate it. It just found me more frustrating. But thanks for that, Craig. I enjoyed those.
Was he in a vest?
He was in a vest, believe it or not. He's lived in a vest during these lockdown periods. I think I think potentially he could, sell those vests at the end of this pandemic and give them away to charity or something. I'm sure there'd be many of his fans willing to pay mega bucks for them.
Yeah,
But yeah, to be fair, Nurse team doing fab. I've been watching, and
yeah,
especially the climb you guys did was very impressive. I did attempt the stairs a couple of times in to be with you, but to be honest, my knees were hurting after a couple. So you guys did that for 4 or 5 hours.
yeah.
Massive respect.
It wasn't fun. I can assure you of that. My knees did not thank me the weeks after. So yeah, once and only once for that challenge, I think.
I can't imagine.
So jumping on to the next question, James. What's your nutrition been like during lockdown? Because obviously people have probably struggled staying on any dietary tracks or anything, and it's probably just been whatever they can get their hands on. So what sort of things have you been eating, and any information you give to the customers?
I think I was with everyone in the first couple of weeks to kind of indulge. I think I thought I was on an all-inclusive holiday at first, and then kind of wears off after 2 weeks. So I tend to be pretty good anyway. I'm an 80-20 kind of person anyway. So I generally Monday to Friday I'll eat pretty decent. I eat quite a lot, to be honest with you. I'm somewhere from about 2,600 to 3,000 calories a day, depending on the exercise. So I do tend to eat a lot, lots of meals. And to be honest, it's when I'm most happiest is when I'm eating, to be honest with you. It's maybe 2.5, 3 hours. I'm a hungry person, but I do burn it off. So I do. But yeah, when the weather's nice, to be honest, I mean, a lot of salads. I've been trying some new stuff. I like my meat. So I had a muscle orders meat delivery, a big meat delivery during lockdown. So that's seen me through it, different meats. But yes, I've been pretty good. Yeah, it's just kind of when the weather's so nice. Sometimes you want to sit in the garden and not do a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
do you use an app to track your calories?
Yeah, it's My Fitness Pal I use. You can use it. It's a free app. You can calorie count. You can pay it extra, and there's different tricks you can use on it. But it's just if you want a calorie count, it's great. It's all free. It's got a scan in. You can scan all your foods in. First week or two, it can be a little bit hard work if you want to weigh stuff out. Depends on how precise you want to be.
Yeah.
But you kind of get used to it, to be honest with you. You can save meals. Like for me, I make my own porridge every morning, so I saved it. So I literally just swipe it across, and it's there. But I find it a great way to track my carbs, my proteins, and my fats. So I kind of try to have my right proportions for the exercise and the training I do, and it seems to work for me. But yeah, My Fitness Pal, free app, you just download on any smartphone. It's really good app. It's kind of just keeps me in check. It's all about accountability. I say when I'm on it, you've got to be accountable. So if I do end up having that bar chocolate, you be accountable and put it in the app, and you kind of see what calories it takes away from you, etc. So yourself, well, you obviously train different to me, so I guess you eat your nutrition is slightly different to mine as well.
Yeah, it's obviously it's probably more carb heavy than a normal eat well plate. Probably taking on about 70% carbs just for the energy because
Wow.
I do like the carbs, and it's a higher content of protein as well. It's slightly higher than fats because I don't really seem to get a lot of energy from the good fats. So yeah, it is 70% carbs, especially when I'm in a heavy phase or cycle of training. So I do periodize my training quite a lot between mesocycles. So it's usually a 4-week block mesocycle. And yeah, I've just come out of a really heavy block now, so it was quite carb dependent. But you
play
like
with it a couple of weeks. Play with it to find out exactly. Did you have to play
so
at the beginning to find out what suits?
Yeah, it's been sort of years to build up the right nutrition for me because there isn't a one size fits all when it comes to nutrition.
No, agree.
And especially like you train for long distance and I train for short intervals, speed and power, and it's I just need a lot of carbs to be able to go in and do a session to 100%. So that's something for the customers listening as well is, there isn't one size fits all. There isn't the 60% carbs, 30% fats, 10% protein. It's individual to everyone, and you only find out when you really phase it.
It's totally based on your goals as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think people realize how important nutrition is when it comes to achieving a goal, whether it be for competition or whether it be for weight loss, which is a lot of people's goals usually. It starts in the kitchen, and I know people have probably heard that before, but you've got to be accountable, like you've said. You've got to be accountable over what you put in your body, and then you've got to be accountable to getting out there and putting the effort in too. But just one big shout out to Nando's Merthyr that opened on Monday. It's one of my guilty pleasures, guys.
Did they?
Yes. So I did go down and pick one up yesterday. So over the moon with that. But very big Nando's and chicken fan. But like I said, I'm going into a more normal diet at the moment because my training has tapered off a bit. But it's usually quite high in carbs.
Yeah. I'm not impressed. Didn't let me know about Nando's.
Sorry, mate. I let you know about Costa, but
I know.
Not the Nando's.
Guys, what have you done? Me and Tom tend to like a coffee, so we've been sending pictures of each other's Costas, but no pictures of Nando's. Not impressed.
No, it went too quick, mate. Honestly, I couldn't get it on quick enough. Sorry about that, mate.
Yeah, know where I'm going this afternoon.
Yes.
Anyway, what's kept you motivated during these times?
So it's something that we discuss quite often is audiobooks. I do like an audiobook, and it's something that really does get to me and gets me pumped up. I know we've discussed a few books, the David Goggins book, which was just out of this world. He said it wasn't for motivation, but it got me pumped every time I listened to it. You can be anywhere and any phase in life. You could be down at the lowest you've ever been, but you could always get back. It sort of links into one of the questions later, but mental health, mental toughness, and all these sort of things, play a big role in physical activity as well as just overall well-being. So audiobooks, some podcasts. I'm a bit of a science geek as well, so I do like Star Talk, Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's another guilty pleasure of mine. Debriefing from a bit of physical activity to how big the cosmos is. So that's what sort of keeps me motivated. And obviously, just having quite a close-knit family, and they've always been with me with all my training, and my wife let me go for 2-hour training sessions, pretty much just to get me out of the house usually. But with 2 small kids, yourself, it's always a big ask. But they are some of the things that keep me motivated during training and just to keep in the back of my mind. What about yourself?
I've just got to turn the TV off. I can hear Spider-Man. The boys watching Spider-Man. It's really
You carry on, mate.
Sorry about that.
It's okay, mate. So, what sort of things do you do to keep yourself motivated?
It's very much like yourself. You got me onto the audible books, and I listened to the Goggins, and to be honest, I struggled with every book since, because that is unbelievable. It really kind of spoke to me. It's all about accountability and kind of talking about, we only really go to 40% of our capacity and trying to push on, and generally our brain tells us to stop before our body can physically stop. But it was unbelievable. Like, kind of obsessed with him since. So I've read the book, I listened to the book, I listened to a lot of podcasts with regards to it. The guy's a machine. He's kind of the only SEAL that has passed all kinds of training. He had a record for the most pull-ups in the world, 4,300. It was ridiculous. But he didn't get it in the first attempt, which is kind of tells a lot about him. If he sets out he's going to do something and he does it, absolutely phenomenal. It just kind of got it. It kind of set me a few challenges. I did 10 mile every day last week. It was horrendous. Second day, I was ready to pack it in, but kind of it was Goggins kind of in my head, as in, what would Goggins do? And
accountability mirror, didn't you?
The accountability mirror. That's what I kind of said to you, didn't I? When I said I did it, it was. I put it out there and told people I was going to do it, so it made myself accountable. As you know, if I say I'm going to do something, I won't back down.
No.
So it's been hard whether to tell people. And I thought, right, if you tell people, you've got to do it, and that's what I kind of do. If there's something you're unsure, and it's one way to make yourself do it, is tell people about doing it, because there's nothing worse than telling people you failed or didn't try. The audio book's been great. Like yourself, I like a podcast as well. My guilty pleasure is House of Rugby, because big rugby fan. Yes, it's not always about rugby. They talk about modern day issues, but it's quite funny as well. It's just something to kind of switch off. That's great. And again, like I said, with the running group, we set challenges. That's always helped me motivate. It's a mixture, like yourself. It's
it is.
The last couple of weeks, and kind of podcasts and audio books has been the way forward, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it takes you away from the day-to-day, because I think everything in the news and the media coverage has been quite negative, and
massively.
To give yourself a bit of a boost. And that David Goggins, but we definitely recommend it. As you can see from both of us, I think we've taken something from it, and we've also discussed a potential challenge in the future. So we'll keep that under wraps at the moment, but it could be coming at you quite soon, no doubt.
It's pretty brutal. It's probably one of the worst ones we've done.
Definitely, because we hit some sleep deprivation in that one. So how's your mental health been, and what suggestions would you have for the customers listening?
I struggled with a little bit of mental health years and years ago. I had an industrial accident when I was 20. I nearly lost my hand, and kind of piled on the weight. Really struggled when I was younger. To be honest with you, I didn't realise at the time. It wasn't until later on, speaking to my wife and my parents, they kind of said about me being in a bad place. We kind of don't necessarily realise you're in it. But what was exercise was got me through it. It's kind of how I felt at my job, to be honest with you. Started using the gym to try to lose weight, and ever since then, exercise has been my go-to place. Whenever I feel crappy or I just go out and do some exercise, and it always kind of makes me feel better. Mind you, I've come to a problem now. If I don't exercise, I feel crap, so I have to exercise even when I don't want to. But there's worse habits to have. But I'm lucky. I've got a good family around me. My wife, the kids. It's lucky enough to have a network around me to keep me positive as well. But it's just keep myself active, and we go for walks as a family, generally 3-4 o'clock every day. That's always nice, kind of bit of fresh air. We've been lucky, we're blessed with the weather.
Definitely.
It's that has helped massively. For those that are kind of stuck in isolation and haven't left the house, I can imagine it's been major mental health issues out there. And I think, unfortunately, when this pandemic is over, I think a lot of it will come to light, and perhaps hopefully we can do something, being in the leisure industry, and kind of help people get back to it, whether that just be filling them with the confidence to come back to use the facilities, or helping them exercise outside. I think with all the bad that's gone in the world at the minute, and the pandemic, I think one positive is the fact that people are going out and exercising. The fact that they were only allowed out once a day, where they probably didn't go out once a day before. They'd be home and it'd bum on the settee and TV on, where actually they kind of, because they're told they're not allowed out, this kind of the rebel in all of us is like, yes, right, we're not allowed to go out, so let's go out for that hour and make sure we go out. So that has been one positive. I think outdoor biking and running, and I think I read, I think Strava's gone up something like 300% or something crazy like that. It was mad. But it's going to have issues. I think it's going to be years of overcoming it.
Yeah.
But yeah, exercise has always been my go-to. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's very similar to me. Like I said earlier, physical activity training has always been an outlet for me. Probably when I was younger, I had too much energy. So my parents tried to get me in every club they could possibly get me into, just to burn off that energy and get me to sleep every night. Mental health is something I've never looked at, and I think is the same as a lot of people. Sometimes you don't realize that you're getting consumed by negative mental thoughts, and you just think it's normal. But everyone goes through it at one stage or another, and it's different degrees. But all I know is no matter how bad things get, they can always get better. There are people out there, partners even in Blaine Gwent, that can help with it, and even down to the National Exercise Referral Scheme. We've got a mental health pathway as part of the scheme. It's just that physical activity, mental and social well-being, and social well-being is always the one that is the forgotten part of well-being. It's just being in a group with like-minded individuals, just talking. So sometimes it hasn't got to be the physical activity, and we started doing a lot of classes with ourselves that are not solely based on physical activity, but sitting, chatting, discussing, and I think that's why we came up with this idea. It's just discussing things that we've been through, and two familiar faces for people watching this, that you can actually touch with, and I think that was important for us, that we may not be there in person at the moment, but we can still give you something virtually. And yeah, we can't wait to welcome you all back, because we are missing it just as much as you are, and we can't wait to restart. Which probably leads us quite nicely onto the next question, which is, it's not so much of a question as a statement of what we are doing at the moment. So like Jamie discussed earlier, we have weekly meetings with the centre leads, the manager of sports development, and myself, which, is just basically, like Jamie said earlier, it was frantic 3 or 4 weeks to start off with what is going on. Things were changing on a daily basis, and we felt the full effect of that. But yeah, it was something that, okay, it was frantic and we had something to do all the time. But then I think it went probably 6 to 8 weeks. It was quite quiet, and, it was quite hard to deal with for us, because obviously, we want to get back to the facilities. We want to get things open. So that the discussions started then about our reopening procedures, and the sort of things that we are doing to reopen. So things are going ahead. We're getting version 1 of our, we've got a version 1 of our risk assessment done for all the facilities. And we all had a say in that, of how we can make staff safe, customers safe, and just give you the same experience, as close to the same experience as you had prior to lockdown. So that's going ahead, getting safety measures in place, such as ordering our personal protective equipment for staff, sanitization for customers and staff, disinfectants, just configuration of the centres. It is all ongoing. So trust us when we say behind the scenes, there is a lot going on, and we're not just sat here twiddling our thumbs. We are working hard to get it open, but obviously it's down to both local and national government. We've got to rely on those guys to say when it's safe to open. So we're just keeping our ears peeled, the same as you guys are with the Welsh government and lifting the restrictions. So yeah, that's basically it from me. What I better say. Is there anything you'd like to add to it, James? What we've been doing?
Yeah. Obviously, we're trying to build confidence. The Perspex Glass come in. To be fair, Blaine and Gwent Council, they've been great with us, working with us to to help it all being safe, through maintenance work to health and safety issues. I know marketing has been key, to get all the signage, the sanitation stations. I know there's going to be obviously deep cleans before, during, and after all this. But yeah, basically just really looking forward to having all you guys back, to be honest, and more. So yeah, it's all it's getting busier, which is a positive. So hopefully that's leading towards us opening back up. So fingers crossed, and hopefully it won't be too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the way we go. So it's hopefully there. Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. We can't say enough how much we want to see you guys back, and we can't wait to get back to some form of normality. But sometimes it's worth the wait. So we're glad for you guys backing us at this difficult time, and we'll make sure everything's in place for you guys to come in safe and give you that experience that you've always had. But yeah, this is something that me and Jamie and potentially a few other guests are going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, just to keep you up to date. But also we want the information from you guys as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a poll out on the Iron Leisure Fitness Class page for your questions. So we'll put generic areas such as nutrition or building muscle, losing weight, even diets like intermittent fasting, just what our thoughts are and how we can help you virtually at the moment, because we can't do it physically, but I'm sure there's things that we can discuss that perhaps you haven't tried and you'd like to try in the future, or even before you come back. And when we get back, we can physically show you what is to be done. But so that's it from us for this week. Thank you all for tuning in. And remember, look out for the poll with what questions that you'd like answered. And it'll be the top poll that we'll be discussing next week. So thanks from me, and across to you, Jim.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for listening. Hopefully, we have answered some of the questions or anything that's been on your mind, and hopefully we can answer further questions in the coming days, weeks, months, and hopefully see you soon. Stay safe.
Stay safe, guys.